Hey, what's going on? So I'm recording this the same day I did my GameCube one. So now, of course, we're doing the PS3. So this one's gonna be a bit of a longer one because this is my biggest collection so far. So keep that in mind. If you're not really into longer videos, you might not want to watch this one, but I have a feeling it's gonna take me a while. But PS3. So I used to have a lot of part of the reason why this collection is so big is because I used to have a 360. My 360, I gave my 360 to a friend because the girl I was dating had a 360 at the time. Hers red ring the next day, and I didn't feel like getting another 360, so I had to repurchase a lot of 360 games I had on the PS3, and I'll go over those when we get to them. But without further ado, let's go ahead. So the first game we're going to talk about is I actually just replayed all of these because reasons. So we're going to start off with Dead Space. Dead Space is a survival horror game in space, and I absolutely love this franchise. 1 and 2 anyway. Dead Space 1 is a great horror game. Especially if you're in sci-fi, it's fantastic. It's terrifying, it's disturbing, and it's awesome. And I find the sequel, Dead Space 2, to be even better. Dead Space 2 is one of my favorite games of all time, to the point where I actually bought the collector's edition. But I remember my hype for this game was through the roof. And it did not disappoint me. This is still my favorite horror game. Yep, this is still my favorite horror game ever made, so. The third game, however, not the best. Not that it's a bad game by any means. I actually just replayed this like 2 days ago. If you look at it for what it is, which is an action game, not a horror game, it's actually a pretty well-made game. It's just not a good horror game because it's not a horror game at all. Next up, we have Batman Arkham Asylum. I remember the story with this. My birthday is August 27th, and this game came out August 25th, 2009. So I was out to dinner with a friend and my family for my birthday. I was still in high school. It was the first week of my senior year. And I was like, dude, I really want Batman Arkham Asylum. I've heard great things about it. I want to play it. So we go to dinner, and my dad's like, here, happy birthday, and in the bag is fucking Batman Arkham Asylum. And I was like, wow. I was not expecting Batman Arkham Asylum, but Arkham Asylum is a great game. It's an awesome game. And I didn't expect it to be. But once I saw the reviews, I was like, oh, crap. Okay. Because I was like, yeah, that game looks really cool, but it's a Batman game. I'm not going to hold my hopes up. And then it came out that it was actually amazing. And it is actually amazing. Arkham Asylum is fantastic. And I'm really happy to have this one. And then, of course, I have Batman Arkham City, which is also fantastic. Even more so than Arkham Asylum. Arkham City is the shit. I don't know if I don't think it's my favorite superhero game anymore. But it is up there. Arkham City is fantastic. Such a great game. The third game in the series, Arkham Origins, not so much. I actually don't even acknowledge this game 99% of the time. And you could tell this was clearly made to fill in a gap because the proper third game wasn't ready. So they just kind of threw this one together real quick. It's not a terrible game, but it's literally just Arkham City done worse. Honestly, and I hate to say that, but yeah, this unfortunately wasn't exactly my favorite game. Next up, we have Ninja Gaiden Sigma. This is actually my first PS3 game because I love Ninja Gaiden Black so much. I was like, oh, I want to check out the PS3 version. And Ninja Gaiden Sigma is really good. It's not as good as Ninja Gaiden Black, in all honesty. But if you only had PlayStation, you know, this is a great way to start with Ninja Gaiden. And this is the version on the Master Collection, so. Of course, I have Ninja Gaiden Sigma 2, which I personally think is better than the original Ninja Gaiden 2. Because the original Ninja Gaiden 2 ran like garbage. This one's actually pretty smooth. The Ninja Gaiden 3, Razor's Edge, which is the only semi-playable version of Ninja Gaiden 3, because Ninja Gaiden 3 is horrible. And this improves it significantly, but it doesn't mean it's great. Don't even play this. Yeah, Yaiba Ninja Gaiden Z is not in any sort of way a good game. I honestly, I couldn't stand it. And I don't even know why I finished it, because the first 3 are hard, but they're not frustrating, because they're fair. It's like, oh, okay, I need to learn how to properly counter and properly attack, whatever, no big deal. Yaiba is frustrating because it's not that you're not good at the game is fucking you. And that's not fun. I don't want to play a game where the game's difficulty because the game is just bad. If I'm going to play a difficult game, I want the difficulty to feel like, alright, that's my fault, not the game is fucking me. And that's what this feels like, that the game's fucking you. Next up, we have, honestly, the worst game in the franchise. Mortal Kombat vs. DC. Why does this exist? This is after Armageddon. We were all waiting to have a resolution in the Armageddon storyline, and this is what happened next. And this isn't canon, and it sucks. It's a rated T Mortal Kombat game. Why? I remember when I first played it, I was like, oh, okay, that's not bad. And then the more I thought about it, the more I was just like, why? Just make a dedicated Mortal Kombat game and a dedicated DC game. And that's what they did. With Mortal Kombat. Commonly referred to as NK9. This is my favorite Mortal Kombat game in the entire franchise. This is awesome. Everything anyone has wanted in a Mortal Kombat game is in here. And it's so, so good. This is one of, if not my favorite fighting game ever made. It's amazing. Next up, we have the God of War Saga. So this set came with 1, 2, 3, and the Origins games. So Chains of Olympus and Ghost of Sparta. But those were on a download voucher, and by the time I bought this, download voucher had expired. So this for me only came with 1, 2, and 3. But that's okay. It's still excellent, because the God of War games are absolutely incredible. So I went ahead and just bought the Origins Collection. So I got here God of War, Chains of Olympus, and Ghost of Sparta. I haven't played these yet. I will one day. And then we have God of War Ascension, which is my least favorite God of War game. I couldn't really get into this one for some reason, but maybe you can. I see. So next up we have Resident Evil 5. This is where the series started to wane a little bit. So this is straight up an action game. There's no horror in this game whatsoever. This is an action game that covers misleading. It should be Chris and Sheva, not Chris and Jill, but what can you do? But it doesn't even, it's not that it's bad as an action game, it's bad because it plays like a horror game, even though it's an action game. It controls just like Resident Evil 4, it has horror game ammo, but it's an action game. If you're going to make it an action game, make it an action game fully. Then there's Resident Evil 6, which is also really not that good. I don't think I need to tell you why. Resident Evil 6 is just... ugh. I don't like it. This game has been beaten to death by everybody. fans, by critics, casual game players, and rightfully so, Sonic the Hedgehog, also known as Sonic 06. This was one of those games that I had on 360. Same as Resident Evil 5, actually. That I had on 360 that I had to replace. This game is terrible. Please don't play it. Don't ever play it. Like, I don't care how big of a Sonic fan you are. Don't play it. Next game in the series was a much better game, in my opinion. Sonic Unleashed. This game gets a lot more hate than I think it deserves. I think it's starting to become more well-liked now. But when it first came out, I think it got a lot more hate than it deserves. Sonic Unleashed is a fun game. It's hard. It's the hardest Sonic game in the series by far. But it was a step in the right direction for the franchise, and I think it's pretty fun, honestly. Half of it, anyway, which is more than I could say about 06. But I think this was the step in the right direction the franchise needed, personally. That's just one guy's opinion, but I think that this is where the franchise needed to start heading. Feel free to agree or disagree with me in the comments, but I think this is what Sonic needed to fix himself. And then we have probably still the best Sonic game in a really long time. By the way, that was another one that was on the 360 that I had originally. Sonic Generations. Absolutely love Sonic Generations. This is fantastic. The best Sonic game in a long time, and they still haven't topped themselves with Sonic Generations. Sonic Generations is excellent. Fantastic. That was also I had on 360 originally. Next up, we have Ratchet & Clank Future Tools of Destruction. Awesome game. Awesome game. This was the best Ratchet & Clank game at the time. And it's really fun. It was a great start to the PS3 because this was really early in the PS3's life cycle. It just really showed what the PS3 could do. And then Ratchet & Clank Future, A Crack in Time. One of the best Ratchet & Clank games. Honestly, it's amazing. Incredible game. And you guys really should play this one. This next one I haven't touched yet, and I only really got to complete the series. Ratchet & Clank Into the Nexus. It's okay. I can't really say anything about it because I haven't played it. But it's not bad. From what I've seen, I don't know. I got it for completion's sake. Next up, we have the Dragon Ball Z Budokai HD Collection. There's only 1 and 3. They didn't put 2 in there, which is kind of funny. But it's the Dragon Ball Z Budokai. You're only going to get this for Budokai 3. Be honest with yourself. Next up, we have Dragon Ball Raging Blast 2. I don't have the first one. And I don't particularly care for Raging Blast, honestly. I thought Tenkaichi was better. But, you know. And then we have Dragon Ball Z Ultimate Tenkaichi. I don't like this game. I really don't like how you just have no control over anything, really. I didn't want to play, you know, a cutscene. But, no, whatever. I don't have Battle of Z or Burst Limit. Battle of Z, I could not stand. And Burst Limit's just Shin Budokai on the consoles. Next up, we have the HD Collection Metal Gear Solid. So it's Metal Gear Solid 2, 3, and Peace Walker. I haven't really tried any of these yet. I'll be honest with you. I got it for completion's sake, but, you know, it's pretty cool. I actually have played this one. Metal Gear Solid 4. I actually got this at release, sold it, and then got a new copy for $5. So it's not a bad... Metal Gear Solid 4 was a pretty solid game. I think part of why I liked it so much was you didn't have to be completely stealthy in this one. You can actually get away with shooting things, which is pretty cool. Because I'm honestly not a big fan of stealth games, like, in general. And the fact that they were able to make a stealth game where you could actually just shoot your way through is pretty cool. Next up, we have Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance. Over the top as fuck, but it's really fun. If you don't look at this as a Metal Gear game and you just look at it as an action game, oh, you're going to have a blast just playing as Raiden, cutting people apart. The final boss is a jerk. He's really hard, but other than that, the game's really good. Now, this was a series of games I used to have on the 360. Sold my 360, you know, I always have them 360, so I had to repurchase these. And I just went ahead and did it in this collection. The Mass Effect Trilogy. The Mass Effect Trilogy is amazing. If you haven't played Mass Effect yet, I'm baffled. But they are all great. They follow Commander Shepard and his war with the Reapers, and that's all I'm going to say. You should play Mass Effect, though. They just did a remaster of them. Now, you should expect this from me, being what I mostly review. Again, I had this game on 360 originally, but Transformers War for Cybertron is still one of the best Transformers games. It's actually quite good. Shockingly. I actually recommend it if you're a Transformers fan, especially. It's pretty freaking good. And I like its sequel, Fall of Cybertron, better. This is my favorite Transformers game so far. It's pretty great, honestly. I recommend it if you're a Transformers fan, or if you just like third-person shooters. Now, this next one, I have not played. I really haven't heard great things about it. But I'll be the judge of that when I get to it. Final Fantasy 13. A lot of people don't like this one. I don't know. I got it for $5. I'll judge it when I play it. But like I said, I wanted all the Final Fantasy games, so I ended up getting it. So of course I also have Final Fantasy 13-2, which I heard is even worse. And then Lightning Returns Final Fantasy 13, which was the most expensive. This one cost me $25. The other two cost me... The first one cost me $5. And the second one cost me like $12. So I don't know why this one was more expensive, but... whatever. Next up, we have Assassin's Creed. I don't know why I keep buying these, because I'm not the biggest fan of Assassin's Creed. I finally stopped, but I've never really gotten super into Assassin's Creed. I don't know. I can't. I've tried. I can't really do it. And I think it's just at the point where there's so many of them. It's just, I personally think it's like, all right, it's time to stop. And here we go, the Ezio trilogy. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not super into Assassin's Creed, so I don't know why I own a lot of them too, is the scary part. But there you go, Assassin's Creed, the Ezio trilogy. And then we have Assassin's Creed 3. This was bought for me as a gift. So, there you go. I didn't like that one at all, really. Next up, we have a game I actually really do like, Heavy Rain. This game was very interesting for me. I loved the story. I loved the cast. I loved everything about it. This was like a movie. This was like playing a movie. It was great. Next up, we have Lost Planet Extreme Condition. This is another one I originally had on 360. Also, it's Assassin's Creed 1, by the way. Yeah, this was another one I used to have on 360. And had to replace it. So, there you go. It's nothing to write home about. It's a third-person shooter set on a snow planet. Sounds like Dead Space 3. But I liked it. I honestly like Dead Space 3 more. Next up, we have kind of an underlooked game, in my opinion, because I think it's actually pretty good. Spider-Man Web of Shadows. This was, I think, a lot better than the previous Spider-Man game, which was Spider-Man 3, which I don't have, but I thought this one was really fun, actually. I loved the Venom powers. I loved being able to swap between the suits. I thought this was really cool. Next up, Soul Calibur 4. This is not bad. I don't think it's as good as 1 or 2, but this isn't bad. And then we have Star Wars The Force Unleashed. Didn't really care that much about this one. So I did play 2. I don't own it because I didn't really like it. Graphically, it's way better, but other than that, I don't think the second one has anything going for it. Granted, I don't think the first one really has anything going for it either, because this isn't the Star Wars game I'd go. This isn't my go-to Star Wars game, that's for damn sure. But, you know, it's an okay action game, but I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I didn't really care about it. I might be being a dick right now, and you might be like, well, I love that game. Good for you. I don't care. This game I love, unironically. South Park: The Stick of Truth. This game is so good. I love South Park. I think the show is incredible, but I didn't think any of the games were good. And then I heard this was, so I played it, and I was like, wow, this is actually great. This is straight up the show made into a game. And they did it perfectly. This is fantastic. I love it. Next up, we have Devil May Cry 4. I do have 1, 2, and 3, but I have the PS4 version of those. And I wanted to get the PS4 version. This has been super expensive, so I just got the PS3 version. It's fine. So it's really good. Devil May Cry 4 is really good, and I think you'll like it if you play it. Next up, we have Crysis 2. This one I used to have on 360. This one I also used to have on 360. And it's fun. I love the design of the suit. The graphics were really good for the time. And I heard this is coming to PS5, so I will be getting that trilogy. Then last up on the PS3 list is Crysis 3. Crysis 3 is alright. I don't remember if I liked it more than 2 or not. Probably. I'm not sure. But Crysis 3 was really cool too. But that's it. That's going to be it for my PS3 overview. Sorry this video took so long, but I had a lot of PS3 games to go over. So next up, I'm going to do Wii and Wii U at the same time, because my Wii U collection is very big, so I'm just going to go ahead and go over all of that at once. And hope you guys will look forward to that one. Thank you so much for watching. See you guys soon.